populations and how they grow. Okay, so can anyone tell me a definition of population in science terms? We're going to turn on our science minds now.
How many of something there are?
Okay, let's start. That's good. We're getting there. Yeah.
Number of something inside a confined area.
Okay, yeah. So he had one part, he had the other. So, and a little bit more to that, it's going to be a group or one species, a group of one species in one region. So, yeah, he got the other part of that. Okay, so there's four things that make up the characteristics, what scientists look at to define populations. Okay, we'll start with geographic range. The area inhabited by a population. This can vary in size depending on the species. It can be the size, just a small food particle, bacteria growing on a small food particle, or the whole United States, depending on the species. Okay, see, this is where I messed up. There's switch. This should be my first slide. Those are the four characteristics scientists characterize populations, describe populations. This is the second way. Population density, the number of individuals per unit area. So, like I said, the area could be different. It could be an inch, a square inch, or it could be the United States. And then distribution, how individuals in a population are spaced out across the range of the population. And there's three different types: clumped, uniform, random. It's pretty self-explanatory. Clumped is where individuals in one group will be in different clumps. Uniform is they're evenly spaced out. And then random is just everywhere. It's kind of like, a good example of that would be plants in a field, just kind of randomly throughout the field. Growth rate. Population's growth rate determines whether the size of the population increases, decreases, or stays the same. So if the population is growing, it has a positive growth rate. If it's decreasing, then it has a negative growth rate. We'll look further into this, about how growth rate is determined and what goes into that. And then age structure. So scientists like to look at how old their group is, the population is. So there's just a graph of something you would see, and you see that 0 to 4, at the bottom is the biggest one. Males being on the left, females being on the right, and the biggest group is 0 to 4 years old. So that's just a good way of looking at population. Okay, so we're going to go back into population growth. There's four things that go into population growth. Birth rate and death rate. So if birth rate is more than death rate, then the population is going to increase. And if death rate is higher than birth rate, then it's going to decrease. Positive and negative. Immigration. So immigration, individuals move into a population range from elsewhere, from another area, and then emigration is the opposite, moving out of the area. And so individuals are moving in, it's going to be a positive population growth, and if they're moving out, it's going to be negative population growth. Okay, so wanted to get into understanding population a little more. So if I had two populations of polar bears, one in the Arctic, so near the North Pole, and one near the South Pole, Antarctica, would those groups, would they be classified as a population since they're the same species, or would they be a different population? Yeah. So would those be a population or not? Or would they be two?
One. I think it would be one.
Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. So yeah, that's the big thing. They're in two different locations. So that's the main reason why they're not population. And there's no polar bears in Antarctica, so it's kind of a trick question. I don't know if you guys all do that, but I thought that was interesting. Yeah, a little trick question. Yeah. There, that was my goal. So, okay. So I'm gonna give you a really fun worksheet to work on. You guys can work on it in groups, and it's gonna go into population growth a little more and give you some real life examples. I would work in groups because some of it's a little tricky.
Let's see the stuff first.
Yeah, we'll probably get it ready. Mr. Daniel.
Two minutes? Okay. Alright. So that graph is just going to be, just do it really roughly. Like, what is it?
So there are 30, 20 minutes, so that's over 80 minutes, then you go 80 times.
So.
On there is the x-axis and y-axis, right? So,
What's the next x-axis?
x-axis and
Thank you.
y-axis.
Why to this guy?
Why this?
Hey, that's good.
I don't know what that's mean. What?
Nothing.
So you guys understand what like I mean by putting it into T-chart before you graph it? And kind of like
Right.
that's 10.